Hi there, and on today's elevator parts project, I'm going to be working on a Fujitec fixture. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is a fixture that I've wanted to work on for quite some time now, and finally have one here to work on. So I've only ever seen these buttons in Texas and in Chicago, so these aren't super common, at least for me, to see. So in this project, I'm going to be restoring this fixture, and I'm also going to be wiring it up. So before I restore this and wire it, let's take a closer look at the button itself. So this is what the button looks like up close, and you can see it's just a white plastic button that sticks out just a little bit with a black ring around it. That's all there is to this. And when I press it down, you can hear it has a nice click to it. So turning it to the back, we get a closer look at the button itself on the back side. Now, the first thing we have down here is this sticker, and it says Fujitec America Inc. It's rated for 24 volts DC at 0.13 amps. And then down here, the date, it looks like that is 2/21/96. Now, if it were 3 days later, this button would be exactly 27 years old. So by the time you see this video, this fixture will be over 27 years old. So taking a closer look at the button itself, one of the main things I noticed here is it says Fujitec on the plastic housing, which is kind of cool. Now the housing consists of a lamp holder, which just pops right out, and a small micro switch. And the way this works is when I press in on the button, there is a small plastic piece that presses down on that switch, and that's how it makes the clicky sound. The wiring for this is directly soldered to the switch, so I do have some wires here. I'm actually probably just going to unsolder these wires and put in my own, but you can kind of see the contact arrangement. So this orange one would be the common, it says C, and then the middle one is normally open, and the bottom one is normally closed. So there is only one contact installed on this button. However, it looks like there could be a second one on this other side here. There's also not a plastic peg that would push up into the button like you can see on this one. For the lamp holder, this is pretty self-explanatory. There is a bulb that is in here. This is an MB bulb, and it said 24 volts, so this is most likely a 24 volt bulb. So for this project, I am not going to be using 24 volts. I'm going to be using a 9 volt battery, so I'm going to put in this lower voltage bulb right now, just get it out of the way. And before I put this all back together and begin with the restoration and wiring, I do want to pop the entire button assembly off so we can take a look at the pieces inside. So upon removing the fasteners here, this button naturally wants to kind of explode apart. So we're just going to gently remove the housing. There is a large spring, and then here is the plastic frame, the button cap, and the ring. So we got a couple of very rusted washers here, so I'm gonna replace those real quick with a couple of new ones. So here we have the ring, and this small piece broke off, so gotta glue that back together real quick. So just like that. Here is the button cap, and it is kind of dirty all around here, so I need to clean this up, just like this. So next is this plastic insert, and this is what the button sits on top of, and also is what pushes into the micro switch. Something interesting I noted is this little peg here that sticks up to press into the micro switch has a spring behind it so that this piece can move. You see that kind of moves in and out like that, which is really interesting. And it kind of looks like the way you would change this out is by pulling this bottom part off. And this is what would sit directly behind the button. So you would pull this out, and you could put the spring and the peg in there. And then finally, we have the actual button housing itself, which is kind of dirty. And just because I like this Fujitec logo, I'm gonna clean this up real quick. It looks a lot better. So these are all the pieces that make up one button. However, as part of the restoration of this fixture, I need to clean up the plate itself. Now this thing overall is not in bad shape. There's just some dirt on the sides and some scratches in here. So I'm gonna clean this up, and hopefully it will look a lot better when I'm done. All right, and here's the plate after I cleaned it up. It's by no means perfect, but it definitely looks a lot nicer than it did. So the wiring for this fixture is actually going to be really easy. It's going to be pretty much exactly like you would wire any other terminal or intermediate call button. Now, I've made plenty of videos explaining how to make a simple circuit that uses a single switch and a light bulb. So in this project, I'm going to be using a 9 volt battery. It's a pretty common battery type that I like to use. So I've already installed the light bulb for that, and you could change the voltage of the fixture by changing the voltage of the light bulb. So just like any other terminal circuit, we're going to start off by bringing the positive of your battery into the common of the switch, and then you would take the normally open contact of the switch and connect that to one end of the lamp holder. So in this case, let's just say this one, and then the other end of the lamp holder would go to the battery. Creates a nice simple circuit. I'm probably going to be soldering the battery pack directly to the common, and then I'll probably end up using one of these wires and I'll just solder it directly to here, and then I will take this off and connect the negative directly to this. So it should be quick and easy, so let's do that now. And now this project is complete. I have completed the wiring and restoration of this button. And as you can see here, when I press in on the button, it lights up. And it lights up very nicely as well. So that is it for this project. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how these Fujitec buttons work and how they're wired up. This is a video I've wanted to make for quite a while now, and I'm really happy that I finally got the opportunity to show you guys how Fujitec elevator buttons work. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.